Virgo, to save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that allows me to look at past, present, and future influences for the week. And as always, I'll be teaching the cards through not only so that you could receive the message, but most importantly, that you could grow your own intuitive skill sets and also to relationship with the cards. Because I know so many of you dig learning about the cards, and that's what this channel is all about, kind of strengthening that connection between you and the cards and God. And I can see this week, my Virgo friends, you are so wound up tight. You are busting at the seams for a new adventure, a new journey, a new anything to kind of get out of the stifling stuff that you're in. And I'm saying just hold a little bit longer. And most importantly, let's take a breath. Get into a detox state, get into a meditative state, get into a calm state, because so much of this activity is going on in your brain and it's causing chaos and upheaval for your spirit. And it's starting to make you feel like you can't be loving and compassionate and grateful because it's been such a long haul. You've been dealing with people and situations that have been plucking your last nerve for a really long time, including loved ones, and maybe that you have to take care as family members, including mothers. There's been a lot of pressure on you, and maybe even outside pressure, because we've got the mama here in the crossing card, the Empress, the major arcana, and she has different reflections, right? So we could be taking care of people. That's that pressure that's maybe building on us, or maybe even getting pressure from outside forces, like we'll see in the Four of Cups, like have a baby, get married, start a family. I mean, it's the whole dynamic everywhere. But the bottom line is just hold tight. New things are coming. The wishes and the changes that you want are starting to take place. So I just need you to grab the reins and lead this kind of cart in the right direction. Lead the horses in the right direction of where you want to go. But the first place that we need to get in order is your mindset, because it's really a tangled mess. It's getting angry, anxiety ridden, kind of looking at people and situations in a devilish way, like maybe even revenge is getting up there because of that anxiety gets there at that heightened kind of state. So let's start off. Okay, this is why I'm saying it, and that's why we need to untangle anything, because the only person that's drinking the poison here is you. Okay, that first card placement, the significator, the general gist of the whole reading is the Four of Pentacles, which in the exalted state is the firm foundation in the area of the material, home, relationship, career, our bodies, community, all fall under the domain of the Pentacles. But the downside of my deck is we're shutting down. You can see he's crossing his arms. He's holding on to his pentacles. We might even be getting a little stingy, not only with money, but our emotions. That's kind of a reflection here as well. And we need to break that stranglehold to build it the other way. So let's look at these kind of situations that you're going through, is to build the firm foundation so you can have the life that you really dream of and the wish that you want to come true, because that's also on hand here too. But I can't get to the wish to you if you're in a chaotic state in your mindset and your heart. And that's what the Four of Pentacles reflects there, okay? Because you're shutting down everything. Not only does he have his arm crossed, his legs are crossed, his eyes are crossed, everything's just wanting to. And we also sometimes could look at other people in a competitive way, even though that they're there maybe to learn from us, or that we have things to teach from this. It's just that anxiety building up after a long time of that pressure from outside forces. And I think it has a lot to do with the second card, that crossing card, which is not allowing you to kind of believe in the firm foundation of the Four of Pentacles and kind of get into the anxiety and shutdown part of it instead. And the Empress, major arcana, like I said, she's mama, Mother Earth. Sometimes we can bring like spring and summer, hey, all happy fun. And other times, watch out, here comes the tundra of winter, right? And I'm shutting down, I'm frozen in my heart and my mindset, and I'm kind of putting out that icicle vibe to everybody else. But again, in the Empress, the whole thing is to cut yourself some slack, get into a place that feels good for you and not worry about everybody else, because that's the push and pull here. That's the kind of friction, is you're having to put everybody else's responsibilities and obligations that you need towards them first before your own, or even their viewpoints, okay? So, and I get it, because that's kind of, the tough spot of obligations and responsibilities, but it starts in your mind. So if you can get into a positive headset, God can start to get that wish to you and that happily ever after that you've been dreaming of, and in new ways, especially of the heart. Okay, so the Empress, we need to cut ourselves some slack. Don't buy into any aspect. Again, if you're getting pressured to be a mama or to even take care of family people, if you're doing that, maybe that's what's causing the shutdown and that kind of friction. But just know there's good karma out of that, okay? So stay the course. And I could just see how much you're just busting loose, right? Because in the seventh card place, I'm bopping around a little bit, Virgo, is the way that we're feeling about ourselves. So I've got the four and the significant, the general gist. So I'm closing down, I'm getting stifled, and I'm tight. But the eight in ourself is like we want to go free. We want to rush into the new tomorrow. We want that refresh, rejuvenation, that restart in the area of the material again. Home, family, relationship, work, ourselves. It wants to kind of stir in a new way, and it's stirring in you. And I'll also say, even in today's present card placement, in the sixth card placement, the Eight of Cups validates that as well, okay? That refresh, restart, rejuvenation in the area of the heart. So we have it in the material and we have it in the heart. And also, too, with both these cards, you don't reach the eight in the minor arcana unless you have really walked the walk and talked the talk, the journey of each of these kind of suits, right? So you need to pat yourself in the back. This is kind of a karmic reward for having taken it up. And especially if you're doing good deeds that are plucking your last nerve with people that you might love. But again, just caretaking is really tough a lot of times, right? And I think it's just pushing you. But I'll also say this, Virgo, wherever that push is, it's making you start to realize, what do you really want out of life? No compromising. What does Virgo completely, fully want? And I know you can manifest that, but it's getting sidetracked a little bit with this, all this other kind of scattery chaos and, just the anxiety that's built out of a tough schedule. Like if you're really busy or if you're getting pressure from outside forces, but you can't buy into it. Because I want to also tell you this in that third card placement as to why I want you to keep your eye on the star. The third card placement is how God wants us to help navigate the week. And the Ten of Cups is kind of what you're striving for. The happily ever after in the area of the heart. Again, a major accomplishment in the area of the heart of the minor arcana. We're reaching the end of it. And what's nice here is not only do I come together in a loving and nurturing way, and I can be unconditional because I'm so secure in my own self-esteem and my self-confidence and my self-love, I can give it out, but I also don't tolerate BS. I don't tolerate other people that are no longer welcome into my peaceful environment, right? I've learned how to say no even to some people in situations. That's kind of the lesson of the journey of the cups, especially when we reach here. We need to respect and love ourselves enough that that's kind of the vibration that we get out to attract that kind of right partner or those right people and situations into our life and to give us that kind of peaceful balance. That's the kind of achievement of the Ten of Cups. And because it's in such an important placement, it means that you're achieving that, okay? And I know that's what the kind of light in the eye of you is saying, that's your carrot. So keep on it, because that means it's coming true, all right? Because I need to build you up first to get that kind of equilibrium and relationship, right? There's got to be an equality. It can't be unequal, right? And unbalanced. And I can see again the pressure here in the fourth card placement. In the base of the matter, I'd like to say the gut feeling, the strength card. And here's another reflection of Virgo, okay? So in modern day tarot, I can handle anything. I can take on those obligations and responsibilities and do so. I can multitask everywhere, right? But to the ancient tarot, the only way you're really going to achieve that is to have an equal balance in your head and your heart, right? Everything starts in that conversation of our mind, so we need to make sure it's positive and not coming out of our words and our actions. That's the thing about the strength card. I'm also dealing with animal instincts like ego, pride, anger, rage. They all get stirred up to kind of test the brain, saying, oh yeah, Virgo, you got it here? Let's just stir up the pot a little bit and see how much you've got it, right? And remember, that's tough for a Virgo because you rule thoughts, so you have to have the mindset and the mastery there, but you're also the Virgin Maiden, so you have a lot of heart and feeling and emotion, and that's what God is trying to get you to hear now. Even in the midst of chaos, you could maintain your balance, right? Even in the midst of all those obligations and responsibility, you could keep your balance. And most importantly, you could still be looking for joy and peace, okay? Because it's all in your brain. That's where it all starts, right? And you're coming off of something that's really cool in the past reflection is Three of Pentacles. So you've already had some accomplishments, some celebratory states in that area of the material. Things start to become a material reality. And maybe that's even the pull here. Like you're starting to see like, oh my God, I have this accomplishment, or I could have this new adventure in this direction. It's got some legs about it. I really want to go and fly, but then I'm kind of back slapped back into reality of the responsibilities and obligations. And God is asking you to kind of work out both. You can have both. So don't tell yourself that the negative side is too powerful of the positive. Poo poo, I'm not going to buy into it, okay? Because with the Three of Pentacles, it means that you have that celebratory state for accomplishment. So pat yourself on the back, wherever that is, for family, relationship, home, work, career, just you. You know what I mean? It's an internal confidence that's built out of that journey right up to the three. And it's an acknowledgement from God and the universe saying, hey, you got it going on, Virgo. Let's see where we could take it. And that's where I think is stirring this 6 card placement in the present. Like I said, in the 8 of Cups, that refresh, rejuvenation, restart in the area of the heart. What's nice about the 8 of Cups is not only that, again, that refresh, but all our cups are in a row. And we're coming out of that dark, shadowy time of learning tough stuff of love, right? It's not all happy butterflies that are going to teach you those lessons. It is going to be the tough stuff, including what you're going through right now, to make you recognize what do you want for your heart. And God is saying, let's go take a walk in a new direction. We don't know where we're exactly going with the 8. And it's kind of a rushy feeling. It's like, whew, I want to start something new. But then we can get hesitant, right? Because we get scared or insecure, those past anxieties out of that dark time. But God's got your favor. Everything's in divine order. That's most important to remember, Virgo, this week, okay? Everything in divine order. So let it just slide. That sometimes you don't need to open your mouth or have a input of anything or to engage or defend. Just slide and just let you, anytime those kind of negative thoughts or negative people even come into your head, like, what's that 10 of Cups vision for you? Because that's what God wants you to keep your eye on right now, because he's helping to shape it for you. But I can't shape it if you're like one piece over here and another piece over there and I'm getting doubtful over here. I can't do it that way, right? I need your input and your kind of strength and the confidence that I've built up out of this time to be applied to help you walk in that new direction. And I'm sticking to it, like I said, in that 7th card placement, the way we're feeling about ourselves is that 8 of Pentacles. We want that refresh. But what's nice about the 8 of Pentacles too, and even the 8 of Cups or any of the 8s, you have props about you. You have taken the journey of the minor arcana here, so you know some stuff. See, in the Pentacles, I've got all those pentacles right at my feet. I'm a craftsman. What do you want to design next? And I'll also inform you about this too, Virgo. You are the Pentacles. You are an earth sign. You rule the Pentacles, so you have magic in this area. So anywhere from career, your body, your family, your own self, your attitude, the way you're treating yourself with the food that you and the drink you take in, that's all gets a refresh here. So focus on that, because God's giving you that as the next kind of step in the new direction of the plan, right? You might not even know exactly what it is. So that's what God's asking you to do. And with that refresh, we get that breath too. So it's exciting and enthusiasm gets kind of embraced again, which I guarantee has been lacking for a while. So, but it gets exciting, but it also could be scary, that excitement, right? Because we're like, oh my God, I don't know where I'm going next. But that's okay. That's half the fun. And when you were a young Virgo, you ran at it. I guarantee it. You didn't care if anyone told you no. Off you went. So that same kind of enthusiasm gets kind of planted back in your spirit and your heart. But you got some brains about you now. You've got some experience and wisdom and knowledge that you're taking forth. So you're not ill-equipped. And it's not like it was before, okay? All right, so that's the representation of the 8. And what's interesting here in the 8th card placement, how other people view you, is the 4 of Cups, again, the firm foundation in the area of the heart. So believe in that. So people look at you as someone that's got that firm foundation, especially if you're a caregiver. That's why people might pluck your nerve, because other people might be around you that are scared from things that are happening, and they're turning to you and taking out their anxiety on you. So trust that you have that foundation. That's that 4 in the cups. All your cups are there. But the other downside in the non-exalted state is people could look at you as gossipy. People might be trying to be gossipy to you and tell you again, like if that Empress, like, oh, you need to go do this with your life. You need to marry this person. You should have a baby now. You should be thinking about this. Or you should be treating your mother or your family mothers this way. Or you shouldn't be talking about them that way. You know, all those kinds of things come out in the non-exalted state of the 4. So just make sure you take a look at that and see how that applies to you this week, and just aim for the exalted state of believing in your heart. And I can see where the freedom is really tickling you. In the 9th card placement, we have our hopes and fears here. The Devil, it's a major arcana card. And this guy's so interesting because in the like upright position, it's about being tied to things. And again, being a caregiver or tied to people's opinions and community and all those other kind of things could be the pressure of the, on Virgo as an earth sign. So we need to break free of that. It also deals with addiction. It also deals with good sex. So hopefully that's something that's happening. But in the reverse state is really more where I think it comes into play here in the non-exalted is we need freedom. We need to want to break away from the chains, which aren't even holding the people. It's just there. The chains are there, but they're not locked around them. They can walk away any time. So where are we staying in places and situations that are no longer benefiting us is one of the reflections in the exalted state of this. But in the non, like in that reverse, we want to have that freedom, which is the really good part of the devil. We want to be ourselves. We want to kind of embrace our identity. We want to kick it. So that's part of this too. Not only is that refresh restarting in you, but it's starting really in you. Like, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? How do you want to live your life? That's really on hand here, Virgo. And it's been plucking at you for a long time. So God's asking you, just like that craftsman in the Eight of Pentacles, like, what do you want to make? What are you going to design for your life? That's what's on hand, and go for the freedom. Don't be tied to anything that's addictive or not healthy for you, even in closely emotional or spiritual damage, right? All right. That's the thing about the devil. So buy into the hopes that God is delivering the freedom to you, because that's what that exalted state really kind of means in the weird way of the devil, right? But in the 10, here's another key of how this tough time is taking a toll on you. The 10th is an outcome card. The 5 of Wands is a good luck in the area of the creative, but there's always something funky McGunky to get over to get to the good luck in tarot. And here it is, it's just being over insecure and doubtful and anxiety ridden. And again, I just think it's the pressure from either outside forces or people even closest to you, whatever the case may be. It's pushing you to change, all right? But the first part of that change is I got to get your mind in order in a peaceful, meditative state so that I can plant a garden of what your wishes are. Because now I've got a few flowers of wishes and I got a lot of weeds of doubt and insecurities choking out everything else, right? And taking the nutrients out of the land, all right? And that's you. You're an earth sign, so it definitely applies. So that's the thing. So get over your dragons wherever they are. All your wands are there. No harm done from the tough stuff that you've been through, and including right now. I know it's ongoing right now, but God's giving you that light to hope and that carrot. So I want you to buy into it. And here I'll validate it as well. I'm reaffirming that in the bonus card of the Knight of Wands. Let's take off for that new creative idea. I don't know where we're going, but I know I need to get out of here. So at least in the first part, get your mind and your heart in line. And you got some props about you in the Knight of Wands. You've got some accomplishments behind you. It's just like the eights represent as well. There's some journeys traveled, so you know some stuff. So trust it and trust God to lead you in the new direction. But first and foremost, what is that direction you want to go in? So get into that contemplative state and really design, whether it's a person or a situation, whatever it is, design your life in your mind, because as an earth sign, you can make it manifest. And I know you know this, Virgo, and it's a little scattery. So let's get all calm, cool, and collected, and the rest will follow, okay? Thanks for visiting the channel, and have a really good week. Sorry about the long reading, but it was a lot to digest in this one reading, okay? Oh, and if you're so inclined to subscribe, it's been really great for everybody. For me especially. Thank you so much.